So guys, it's Tico, another simple Tico production video. And tonight I'm going to talk about the two fights that occurred tonight. One was the Super 6 Arthur Abraham versus Carl Froch. And the second fight I'm going to talk about is the Sakio Bika versus S.O.G fight, which was not included in the Super 6. I want to start with the Bika versus Ward fight. Match was in Oakland. I did not make a prediction for this fight. I didn't think that it was an interesting fight to predict and to look forward to, but it was not bad of a fight. You got a guy, Sakio Bika, that most of us are seeing for the first time, such as myself. I saw him fight for the first time, but I heard about him, but I didn't see him fight. And I was impressed with the guy. He gave us a fight with Ward that Alan Green couldn't give. He gave us a fight with Ward that Mikhail Kessler couldn't give. And he was giving Ward some problems in the ring. Bika was landing some shots and Ward was backing off a couple of times. But it was an even fight for the most part. It was even despite the judges' scorecards. Two of them gave it 118, 110, and one of them gave it 120, 108. Or was it two of them gave it 120, 108, and the other one? I don't know. But it was a blowout according to the judges' scorecard. And I had the fight 116, 112 in favor of Ward, of course. Both of these fighters were very dirty. Both of them used heads, elbows, a lot of holding. Though I could tell you that S.O.G Ward got a lot of the referees' calls. Sakio Bika was getting warned every second for stuff that S.O.G Ward was doing, but it was not getting warned. So there was a little bit siding, but for the most part, I gave Ward a deserving close victory. That means that he's going to take his belt into the Super 6 semis. If he lost, then the belt wouldn't be online in the semifinals of the Super 6 because it would be in the hands of Bika. And I'll talk about S.O.G Ward's future in a later video. And for now, I'm going to talk about the Arthur Abraham versus Carl Froch, the so to speak most anticipated fight of the year, the so to speak most anticipated fight of the century, most, all that bullshit. But we didn't get any of that. I'm gonna talk about this fight in two perspectives. One I'm gonna talk about as a Arthur Abraham fan point of view, and another I'm gonna talk about a boxing fan point of view. I'm gonna start with the Arthur Abraham point of view first. As a fan, I predicted Arthur Abraham to knock Froch out the later rounds, preferably the 9th round. As you all know, whoever saw the fight, I was way off. I'm disappointed. Arthur Abraham, a guy that came off a disappointing DQ. You would expect him to come with fire and fury in his next fight, but we didn't get that. For 8 months since March, since the Durrell fight, 8 months they've been heating this fight up, hyping it up. Fight of the year, fight of the century, Arthur Abraham by brutal knockout. I was one of those people. But we didn't get shit. Arthur Abraham gave us a disappointing fight. His fans are disappointed. You saw Arthur Abraham, he was mad at himself too. He refused to answer Steve Farrell's questions with interest. He was really pissed at himself for the most part. But he gave us a disappointing fight. Now I'm talking about Arthur Abraham versus Carl Froch in a boxing fan's perspective. Arthur Abraham coming to this fight, we expected him to keep his high guard. We didn't expect him to leave that. We expected Arthur Abraham to start off fast, as he said himself. He was working on starting very quickly. We were expecting Arthur Abraham to improve his footwork, improve his speed. But what we got was no speed whatsoever, slow movement, no combinations. He tried to start fast in the first round. He tried to really pump it up, but for a guy that's been fighting all his career the same way, he cannot change in one fight. It takes time, and I don't think Arthur Abraham can change that. He should keep fighting the way he used to, but then improve his attributes from there. We also saw Arthur Abraham with his high guard up most of the fight. We're expecting Carl Froch coming into this fight with his horrible defense again. None of us were expecting Carl Froch to improve his defense. We saw Carl Froch with his defense like this. And we also expected him to bring Ward to the fight, to keep coming forward, being aggressive. And that's what we got. Carl Froch was a more successful fighter in this fight. I gave the fight 117-112 in favor of Carl Froch. I gave the second round, the 10th, and the 12th to Arthur Abraham, and I gave the first round a 10-10 round. I was a little bit generous, as you can see, but clearly Carl Froch dominated the whole fight. Arthur Abraham couldn't connect for shit. He couldn't connect even if his life depended on it. He was very ineffective with his punches. I didn't see Arthur Abraham hurt Carl Froch in any way, shape, or form. Carl Froch was the same fight after the fight than he was before the fight. All I saw Arthur Abraham connecting was probably 5 or 6 stiff jabs, that's it. All of Arthur Abraham's punches were looping right hands or looping left hands. His punches didn't connect. I never saw a clean combination from Arthur Abraham, a 1-2 and a 1-2-3. I saw that from Carl Froch. He doubled his jab up. He doubled his jab and right, double jab right, and uppercut. He was everywhere. His shots were connecting, as you can see from the face of Arthur Abraham. After the fight, he looked like a bloated cow, if you want to say. No disrespect. I love Arthur Abraham. I still do. He's my one of my favorite fighters, and I'm still be his fan. But I'm criticizing him for disappointing every one of us. Hyping the fight up and then giving a fight like this. I don't know what he's gonna do with Ward if he fights the way he did tonight. Carl Froch's range was effective. He used his jab perfectly. I mean, Carl Froch fought a perfect fight. Carl Froch would be a whole different fighter if he just keep those hands up. He fought a perfect fight except those goddamn hands. He just needs to keep them up. I would like Carl Froch to do that in his next fight with Glenn Johnson. To keep his hands up and do what he did tonight, and he will win. And yeah, Arthur Abraham was slow, no combinations, no connect percentage, no connect rate, and it was not his day. I'm going to make another video concerning the future of the Super 6, the future of Arthur Abraham, future of Carl Froch, and I will be making other prediction videos of the semi-finalists. And yep, that's it. Carl Froch by decisive victory. Andre Ward with the close decision. This be Tico, another Super Tico production video. Peace.